Hello again, my name's Jamie and I'd like to take you through our trip of Kuala Lumpur. Okay, it's 3:30 and we've just landed in Malaysia. Now hopefully this video will give you a little bit of insight about what to expect when you arrive in Kuala Lumpur and how to make the most out of your money and make the most out of your trip.
Situated in Southeast Asia, Malaysia covers areas of the Malay Peninsula as well as part of Borneo. It's basically two separate parts, and Kuala Lumpur is located on the west part.
Now we were not made aware until we landed, but you have to fill out a visitor's card before you enter Malaysia. Usually you get handed these on the aircraft as you're traveling over by the flight attendants. But during our flight, we never got handed a visitor's card, and we didn't find out until we landed, like a lot of people that we noticed. So you end up fumbling around trying to get Wi-Fi to fill out this visitor's card because you have to do it online, it's not via paper. So just be aware before you travel to Malaysia to do it before you leave. Malaysia uses the ringgit as its currency. Now, when we were there, it was about 5 ringgits to the pound, so it's actually a really good exchange rate. And everything for that reason was actually really cheap. It was amazing what you could actually get for your money. Meals, accommodation, transport was really cheap in Malaysia. Now, if you watched my Singapore video, you may have seen that I was talking about the Revolut card. Now, in Malaysia, we did not use the Revolut card because the ringgits are not automatically assigned to the app. So you have to pay fees to transfer ringgits from pounds to ringgits. So we ended up using a different credit card while we were in Malaysia. Now, the airport is actually situated around a 50-minute drive from the city centre. We got the train, which cost £10 each equivalent. Next time I think we'd probably end up getting a taxi or a Grab taxi, which is the equivalent of Uber. But this particular time we got the train, which wasn't bad. But just while we're on the subject of transportation around Kuala Lumpur, I would definitely go for Grab taxis. The entire trip, we attempted to get the train a few times, and it was just a failed attempt almost every time. The one from the airport to the city centre was fine before we got to our apartment. The train stations aren't the easiest things to navigate, and the transfers don't line up very well. And one story we actually have is that when we tried to get the train from the town centre to our apartment, we had to pay, we prepaid for a token to get through a gate, and it turns out we weren't even on the correct platform, and to get onto that platform we had to ditch our token that we'd just paid for and buy another one. So we just ended up wasting like £4 and we didn't even get on a train. So that was pretty much the last time we got a train in Kuala Lumpur. So if you're traveling through Kuala Lumpur, just get Grab taxis. They're so much easier, they're convenient, they're probably a little bit more money than you'd pay if you just got the train, but they're just so much easier. So just stick with Grab taxis. Now we got a spacious 1-bedroom apartment with Airbnb for 5 nights, which was £139, the equivalent to. We had our own washing machine, we had a small balcony, and the apartment was huge. It was more than we could have ever asked for, really. Like, we had a big open plan kitchen and lounge, big L-shaped sofa. The bathroom was big. The bedroom was massive. We had air conditioning in both rooms, both the lounge and the bedroom, which was handy. And it does get very hot when you're in Malaysia. It's very hot and humid. There was a swimming pool downstairs. I think it was on the 6th floor. We never actually used it though, unfortunately. We just didn't really fancy going for a swim at any point. There was a gym as well, but obviously I'm not going to use that. And there was a little miniature to scale model of our apartment building as well. Now, the Quill Residence apartment building is about an 8-minute drive away from the Petronas Towers. Now, I'll talk about the Petronas Towers shortly. Interesting thing about our apartment as well, we stayed at the Quill Residence, which has the Quill Mall attached to it. So we literally had a shopping mall downstairs, which we could access restaurants, sports shops, clothing. Yeah, it was really convenient. I was actually quite surprised. Now, the first place to visit while you're in Kuala Lumpur are the Petronas Towers. Now, the name might suggest that they have something to do with the Petronas Oil Company. Well, they do. This is the main headquarters for the Petronas Oil Company. What's inside them? Well, it's mostly office space. There is an observation deck and a bridge walk that you can do between the two buildings, but you do have to pre-book and get tickets for this. If you are on a tight budget like us, you can just have a walk around the park, which is a lovely little stroll if you're up for the heat. Cool down or refreshment, there is an attached mall to the Petronas Towers called the Surya KLCC Mall. Here you will find all sorts of restaurants, shopping, and some familiar favourites. It was December at the time of filming this, so there was Christmas decorations everywhere, and a little Christmas market down on the ground floor as well.
If you don't fancy paying full price for a Prada handbag, then Jalan Petaling in Chinatown is the place for you. But I can't promise that it will be anywhere near genuine.
Now, if you're into your fish, and not the tasty kind, you can visit the aquarium, which is something that we did while we were in Kuala Lumpur. Tickets for this we purchased online, which were £21.20 for two of us.
Within this aquarium, there is a travelator which takes you through a tunnel where you can witness the sharks and the stingrays. There weren't just fish in this aquarium though, there were some reptiles, some other amphibians, and some furry friends as well. Not that kind of furry. I meant this kind of furry friends. Now, another must-visit tourist attraction in Kuala Lumpur are the Batu Caves. A couple of things you should probably know is that one side is free and one side is not. If you see where this blue monkey man is stood, this side is not free. If you've reached this part, turn directly around and walk the other direction. Keep walking until you reach the other entrance. This one is free. Well, it's free unless you're a lady in a short skirt. All ladies' legs must be covered beneath the knee. But ladies, don't worry, there is a skirt rental at the entrance. I think it was around 6 or 7 ringgits. If you visit the Batu Caves, you'll probably see this gold statue. Well, hopefully. We didn't, because it was covered in scaffolding. There was some maintenance underway. Disappointing for us, but a good thing overall. And by the way, the stairs are very steep. Now you will encounter some macaque monkeys monkeys, but don't worry about them, just keep food well out of sight. I actually got some footage of the monkeys having a domestic as well, which was quite interesting to see. Oh, they're not happy. Now, being English, I'm not exactly adventurous when it comes to new foods, and to be honest, I'm a pretty fussy eater at the best of times. That being said, you must try Malaysia's signature dish, which is nasi lemak. It's basically a coconut rice with nuts, vegetables and a spicy dipping sauce. Another dish I tried was the curry laksa. This was basically a curry soup with chicken, and this was also a lovely dish. All around Malaysia, you're sure to find a cuisine that's right for you. If you are able to cook in your apartment, sometimes a supermarket isn't a bad shout. You can have a walk around the central market. Around here you can find some quirky little souvenir shops, clothing, and even a little food hall as well. And we found someone outside serving fruit slushies, which were really nice. Now, we're also into the habit of collecting postcards for our little souvenir during our travels. If I was you, I'd think of a nice little quirk like carrying a particular souvenir like a fridge magnet or some little ornament that you can take home with you. Got it? Got it?
Yep.
Now, if you're into your bacon, unlucky, because pork is completely off the menu in Malaysia as it is a predominantly Muslim country. One thing I can't stress enough if you're traveling to Malaysia is that it is extremely hot and humid, so there is no need to pack warm clothes whatsoever. Something I almost forgot to talk about is your mobile data. Now, we've been using Saily for our eSIM. It's really easy to install onto your phone, and it's been really good for the other countries that we've been traveling to. Now, unfortunately for us, and probably as well as you watching, there were quite a few places that we didn't manage to visit while we were there, but I'm going to go over them now using the screen grab on Google just to show you what you can still see, and make the most out of your trip. Okay, so a few other things that you can do is you can visit the Menara Kuala Lumpur Tower. This is basically an observatory where you can get good views of the whole city. Tickets are on Google right here. It's a lot cheaper if you don't go direct. Also, there's the Merdeka Square. We did visit this, but it was really hot on the day, so we just went home. You can get a private tour as well, but they're a bit expensive. And there's the Kuala Lumpur Butterfly Park and the Botanical Gardens. And there's the Thien Ho Temple. I think I'm pronouncing that right. This is a Buddhist temple. The Merdeka 118 building, which is the second tallest building in the world. And there's the National Museum of Malaysia. And there is the National Mosque of Malaysia. So yeah, I hope this helps. Enjoy the montage. And that's it from this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.